Righty, it is Friday, which ought to be the 3 expansion day, but unless my eyes deceive me, this just looks like all plunder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Trait is from plunder, and prepare is from plunder, right? I wonder what the odds of that are. I think there's been at least one kingdom on the 2 expansion days where it just happened to be all from one kingdom. The odds of that on a 3 expansion day had to be fairly low, I would think. Huh. All right, well, we got an all plunder kingdom. What's happening here? For draw, there's crew, pilgrim, map maker. I think that's it. Which card is the hasty card? You can't tell from this view. Mining road is hasty. So if you gain a mining road, you get to play it for free at the start of your next turn. All right. Villages. Gondola is like a one-shot village the turn you gain it. So you could use that to say play a cutthroat, for example. It wouldn't be terribly useful at playing draw cards because if you gain a gondola in the buy phase, you draw a bunch of cards. You can't use them. It's not your action phase anymore. And also, once you've bought stuff in your buy phase, you can't play additional treasures even if you draw those. So gondola would mostly be useful at playing something like Cutthroat or Fortune Hunter or Flagship. Prepare is also a village. I think this one's pretty expensive as far as villages go. Part of it is just the +3 or the -3 coins it takes uh, to play everything. But I think the bigger cost to prepare is that it makes everything a duration card. If I want to draw with 3 council rooms every turn, you need 6 council rooms, and then you play 3 each turn, you prepare 3 more for the next turn, and so on. So it's a little bit slow, and it's slow to set up, but that might be the best thing you can do here. And then Hasty actually is a village here. You buy a mining road, you'll play it for free at the start of your next turn, and that'll be +1 action on that turn. So not the most efficient village, but might come up. Uh, Crashing is rope, and I think that's it. Plus buy, rope, mining road, and we got a bunch of loots, most of which say plus buy. The sources of loot are cutthroat, and I think that's it. Okay, so where is this going? Plunder kingdoms often get weird. Hmm. So just thinking out loud here, the most simple deck I think you could play would just be 1 copy of Crew and a generous number of ropes. And as long as you get 1 rope in play every turn, you'll draw your single Crew every single turn at the start of your turn because it'll top deck itself. And then you take +1 card from rope, and you can choose the order of those things. So you top deck Crew first, you resolve +1 card from rope. You have 1 Crew in your hand every single turn, and then that's pretty decent as far as basically big money decks go. You just have the 1 draw card, you jump straight to greening. Can you do better here? There's nothing that lets you trigger Mapmaker very effectively that I can see. Sometimes you can just take a bunch of Mapmakers, and in a kingdom where you're otherwise stuck playing big money, I think that's pretty strong. Like, if the best your opponent can do is buy 1 province per turn, often just shoving your deck full of Mapmakers is really good, because once they start greening, trigger all your Mapmakers, and then you're just guaranteed to hit province from there on out. The trouble, I think, is the Mapmaker stack does not do well versus an opponent who builds an engine, even a fairly weak engine, because they only score over like 1 to 3 turns, and they're almost never activating your map makers for you. An easy way around that is if you have a good way to gain a victory card. Say, like, imagine having a quartermaster in play that gains a victory card at the start of your turn. Then you trigger all your map makers off of that. I don't see anything like that here. Um, Could just be prepare. I mentioned that earlier. Not the most efficient village, but you could just have a diversity of draw cards, click more crews, pilgrims, map makers than you need, and then prepare the excess ones. That can include flagship. Might not be a bad card to prepare either. Flagship is it's not a village. A throne room and throne room variants are villages because you play the throne room, which plays the action card for you 2 times. With flagship, you play it, then you need to spend the extra action to play whatever card you're trying to double. So it doesn't work as a village, but it's basically like whatever other card you're playing with +2 extra points stapled on top, which is not bad. So I can see playing with a diversity of actual draw cards and flagships to make them more plentiful. I think that's probably where this is going, is just like a bunch of this stuff, some combination of prepare, maybe gondola gain in the right circumstance, and then gaining mining road gives you enough villages to play everything. And you can probably build fairly big here, I think. That's my suspicion anyway. How to open? Probably rope plus silver. I do want to get somewhat thin. Bot has the 5-2. Yeah, opening hasty mining road 5-2 makes sense because you'll play it immediately, and then that turns into a 5-4, and they otherwise would have bought nothing turn two. I'll just take a silver. It would not have been unreasonable either, and maybe I could have considered it seeing this hand to just click prepare turn two. Prepare can't play your estates or anything, but just the fact that it sets the estates aside and then discards them the next turn is pretty significant. Like it wouldn't be any use on the 3-4, but on the 4-3, you're making two estates miss your shuffle, which would be pretty nice. Unfortunately, didn't have such a draw here, and my rope is bottom deck. This is not not exactly how I wanted this to go. I'm thinking maybe hasty mining road. I want to play ropes a bunch, especially given that my first one is going to be a bit slow to get going, and haste and mining road might be the fastest way to get additional ropes in play. I think that feels correct. I got 7. I think I buy a rope, play the rope. I got another 4 money. Could be a third rope. Wouldn't get played by mining road. Only works once per turn. Or it could be a map maker or a flagship. I think I like map maker. I do want draw cards. Buys a rope and a flagship. Play a very similar turn. And 1-5. One more mining road. Pilgrim, accrue. All this looks all right. Take another mining road. Okay. Rope and pilgrim. This is one of those kingdoms where I feel like I'm making it up a little bit as I go along. Most of the kingdom looks playable. I could consider putting these in my hand and just preparing, setting them both aside for next turn. I think I care enough about just playing the ropes. And taking or draw cards, presumably. I think so. Do I want Cutthroat at any point in this game? Not clear. The attack, it's not much, but it's something. It's a loot gainer, and the payload's nice. I'm not sure how important loots for payload are. Probably not that important, I don't think. Like flagship on Mining Road looks like better money anyway. So I think probably no to Cutthroat just because it's always going to be competing with Mining Road or Pilgrim or Crew, all of which look better to me. Let's get another rope in play. And I do have 2 mining roads this turn. If I bought another rope, I'd have 2 money left. That's nothing special. I could do a silver, and I'd have 4 left after playing it. And then I could do another 4 cost card, like a map maker, or I could just buy another 5 here. I'm going to clip Mining Road. I have 2, maybe 3. I have a bunch of terminal draw cards down there. And so having that village next turn seems like it'd be pretty darn helpful. I also want flagships. I haven't added a flagship yet, but I feel like I do want flagships. Bot already has the flagships. Oh yeah, flagship and mining road is kind of nice. You play a flagship at the end of your turn, you buy a mining road, it'll double that at the start of your next turn. That's a nifty little interaction. Okay. So for sure I'm clicking prepare here. I could have 11 money left over or less, depending on how I feel. Hmm. Thinking about buying Gondola. What if Pair doesn't look so good if I'm just playing the map maker? Yeah, I'll top deck the map maker instead. Buy a Gondola. Use the Gondola effect to play the Mining Road. The Mining Road effect to play the Gondola. And now we're getting places. I have 3 Mining Roads in play, I believe. Yeah, so I can play a bunch of treasures here. I want another rope. Maybe so. Play that. And how about a Mining Road and a Flagship? Mining Road alone has been enough of a village to not even need to quick prepare. I guess with the Gondola as well. You've activated my trap card, bot. Double Province, okay. Crash, crash, crash. Yeah, I was hoping to find the Flagship because I can do Flagship followed by Mining Road, get my 2 actions back, and go from there. Probably I'm clicking Prepare this turn, just to play these 2 draw cards next turn. Seems good. Hmm. What else am I doing? Does seem close to time to start scoring. I think I want flagships. Flagship looks good. Also, kind of want treasures just because they're so cheap with mining roads around. Maybe a few more silvers. How many silvers can I play? 3 of them? 1, 2. Flagship province. 1 more silver, and then I would have 11 left, and then I could do like a 2 flagships and a 3rd silver. I think it was like flagship plus province. Piles are a little bit low. Mining road is low. Rope is very low. Uh, there's a decent chunk of plus buy. I think I don't want to leave the piles too low with a big points deficit. The bot might start buying the low piles and then threaten to pile out. So I think province plus flagship seems good. That was a bit of a slower turn for the bot. Province on top, and then I can skip past it with map maker. Hmm. I wonder if I could have played my turn better somehow last turn. I'm just now realizing that this is one of those situations where it'd be awful helpful to have 2 actions instead of 1. If I had 2 actions right now, I do flagship on mining road, get 2 actions back. Flagship on mining road, get 2 actions back. But with flagship in particular, it's often real helpful to just have 2 actions to start because that lets you do flagship and a cantrip, get back to 2. I can't do that here. So probably I'm just playing a bunch of mining roads and then preparing the flagships for next turn. I don't see another way around that. And then I'll take 1 province. I think. I don't think the bot can do triple province. 5 money left. I really don't want to dud next turn. We got 2 flagships and a mining village or mining road set aside, which is plenty of actions if I want it to be. If I need a bunch of villages, for example, I can play the flagships first and then the mining road. If I find at least 1 draw card and I need the draw, I can play the mining roads first, then play the flagship, or play the mining road singular first, and then play the flagships plural. And then all the flagships will copy the first draw card I play. I just need to find at least 1 draw card on top of my deck kick off. I don't know a way to guarantee that. Perhaps the answer is buying that last rope and getting it in play. No, I just played 4 ropes. I think I'm gonna be fine. I have like a 9 card starting hand. Okay, yeah, I don't think I need to worry about draw. Uh, so what do I buy? A duchy, maybe? I think the answer is just a duchy. Probably the best way for me to lose this game is if the bot just takes double province and I can't score enough. Alternatively, it could be like a silver plus a flagship. I think I'm just gonna take the duchy. Bot appears to be 1 coin away from double profits. Oh no, it's just got it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the dangerous scenario where the bot just scores a ton, and the question is whether I can beat that. When it had 11 money, one thing to look out for with mining roads is if you need a little bit of extra cash and you have a bunch of buys, you can buy coppers for 0, play it for 1. At the cost of putting coppers in your deck, which doesn't matter too much on the last turn of the game, you're converting extra buys and extra coins, which the bot does here. I'm going to resolve all the ropes. If I don't find a draw card, I'm going to be so annoyed. Okay, we got a map maker. Um, I don't think I need to double the map maker. I'm going to see 4 of those bottom 6 cards. I'll find a pilgrim. I'll draw everything else. So I think I do the flagships first. Play the mining road a bunch of times. And go from there. I guess I put the pilgrim on top. Not that it matters. Okay, counting time. How many points do I need to win? A province would bring me to 21 points. 3 duchies would bring me to 30 points. I need 4 duchies and a province. So 28 money. That sounds like I got that right. Yeah, I get that easily. I would need 5 buys. So I guess not that easily. I'm not that far from missing here. I'm only like 1 coin above what I needed to be. But like I said, you can get a little extra money there on the in-game buying coppers. Okay, that one was actually quite close. I think Hardbot played this well. Perhaps Crew was a good card there. I didn't really have a strong reason for not clicking it or anything. Certainly I could see the Crew being useful. I think Hardbot clued into Mine Order being very good here very fast, and I think it clicked Flagship earlier than I did. I think Flagship's also quite good here. So we did very similar things. Can't help but note that the Hardbot did buy a gold. I'm going to blame the loss on that. Uh, yeah, very similar decks. 4 mining roads to 4, 2 flagships to 2. Very similar numbers of ropes. Almost identical. Good job, Hardbot. I need to go plug in my laptop.